Thanks for joining me today. This is Danny, and welcome back to my FTP Infinity Estate. Today, as you can see, I have my Draconic Evolution thing in my hand. What is this thing called again? Information tablet. And I am looking here at energy storage. And that is our main thing that we're going to be working on today. We're going to be setting up one of these big, crazy-looking energy things, and I've decided that we are going to go all the way up to tier 7, because, hey, why not? We can do it, so why not do it? And this is basically what we have to do. I have got in my inventory, I have an energy core, which goes right in the middle, and then I've got these particle generators, which go on the outside. Those are those 4 things you see on the corners here, or not necessarily corners. And then I've got a ton of redstone. I've got 5 stacks of redstone. I think we're going to be using about 4 1/4 stacks, actually. And then I have 2 energy pylons, which we will place nearby, and that's how we're basically going to I/O that's how we're going to input-output our power that we're going to be storing in this thing. So we are going to be able to store 2.14 trillion RF in this thing. That is going to give us a nice, big, huge RF buffer, and we'll be able to do pretty much anything with that. So I'm pretty excited about that. And then we are also going to need 218 Draconium blocks. And right now I've got some auto crafting. I'm cooking some up right now. Mostly it's the smelting that's taking the longest. But those are going to go on the outer layer of this big circle. Well, yeah, it's kind of a circle, sure, of blocks. So it's going to be all redstone, and then the outer layer is going to be Draconium. So we don't need that yet. We won't need that until the very end. So we can start building this thing right away. And what I've decided to do is to put it over here, because I thought it would be kind of cool, just kind of suspended out over this cliff here. So I'll have one of the particle generators over here and one of them over here, and they'll kind of be beaming out onto this big floating ball right here. The only thing I haven't really figured out yet is we're also going to have a particle generator over here and another one over here, and they have to be on the same plane, at the same Y level. So those are kind of just going to be hanging out in the air, and that might look a little silly, but we'll see. We'll see. Maybe I'll put like poles, poles or something under them, so that they don't just look like they're kind of hanging out there in the middle up in thin air. So we can place these things up to 10 spaces from the center. So I would like to go at about, let's see, probably about this level. Like maybe, let's see. So if we stick this here and we put our core, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So our core would be right about here. As you can see in the upper right hand corner, I finally installed the Infinity Evolved. So I've got all the server management features installed right now. I actually did, I mean, it really doesn't matter because I'm pretty much the only one who plays on this server, but I did claim the blocks around my area, and the main reason I did that is because these are the blocks that are chunk loaded. So I just did that mostly so that I could tell what's chunk loaded and what's not. So when I cross a certain point here, you're going to see wilderness up in the upper right hand corner, and that means that I'm not in the chunk loaded area anymore because I didn't claim the areas that aren't being chunk loaded, so it's calling them wilderness. And then it says Danny DJ DK because this is the area that I've claimed, and this is also the area that I've chunk loaded. So of course I can turn on my chunk boundaries, and we can see that this is really the furthest corner. So we can have our pylon go about, our energy storage come this far, and maybe I will. So I decided on a spot. It's going to be 10 from there. So I'm just going to use redstone blocks. Whoops. Oh, by the way, the particle generator is normally a kind of, it's just an aesthetical block that you can use to make particles. I've never really played with it before. I mean, it doesn't have any real practical purposes other than this, but it could be fun to play with. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then at 10 we're going to put our energy core. So that's going to be right in the middle. And then just to make sure, I'm going to set 9, 1, oops, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, actually, let's bring this out one more because I actually want it to be out 10 from there. Whoops. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Cool. Oh no. Oh, phew. We're almost at the border here, so that's cool. So now we're going to surround this thing with redstone. Let's just see. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 layers of redstone. So first we do this 9x9. I mean 3x3x3 square, or cube rather. Alright, almost done with the redstone. What the heck? There. Beautiful. And I broke the little placeholder redstone I had on the outside. I think we might have to get rid of that tree, but we'll see. Just a big floating sphere of redstone. That is pretty cool. Alright, let's grab our Draconium. Hopefully it's all done. Just cover everything. These blocks look so cool. They're all purple and smooth. I thought I made just enough Draconium, but I've got some extra here. Maybe those, actually I think maybe the corners have to be filled. Check that out, man. It's beautiful. Alright, let's check this. Yep, the corners. That's what I'm missing. That. Yep, that'll be perfect. That'll be all the Draconium. Ah! Get over here. Alright. 1. And then 1 more. There. Alright, I think we're done. So now we just right click with an empty hand on one of the particle generators, I think. Was that what it was? No, shift right click. Ooh, nice. There we are. That is cool. That is very cool. Let's start pumping some energy into this thing. We can place our energy pylons within, I think it's, is it 15? Yeah, within 15 blocks of the core. So we could actually go 5 blocks out from here. So it looks like this guy's got to be at the same plane as the core, at the same Y level, because as soon as I did this, the particles started heading over there. So Let's give it a try now. See what happens. Okay, yeah, there's definitely energy flowing into it now. Yay! And we are drained. Oh, we're already drained. Okay, cool. So we are now storing a tiny little bit of energy in here. All right, we're generating lightning power. So I want to get this working. I set up 2 capacitor banks here, Ender IO capacitor banks, so that I could have 4 of these connectors in a way that's a little bit less silly. I've also decided I'm going to come up 1 with these guys. I gotta hurry up, we're missing out on energy. We're missing out on lightning power. Right, after that thunderstorm, we now have 306 million RF stored in here, just from one thunderstorm. That's pretty cool. And here's the wiring setup. It's a little wonky, but it works. So now it's pulling RF out of all 4 sides. We've got 2 wires going over here and 2 wires going over there. And they're all feeding into this one line, which is then, of course, going down into our capacitor banks down there, which is going into the big energy thing. So there it is. I added some fencing over here because, you know, this is kind of dangerous. There's all these high voltage wires and and these almost look like transformers. So we got to keep the public out of there. We don't want anybody getting hurt. 306 million RF out of 2 tera RF. So we haven't even filled up a tiny itty bitty portion of this yet. So this capacitor bank I would like to be full at all times. This one I would like to be our overflow, because we are almost always generating more power than we're using, and it's just going to waste. So we may as well fill this guy up, and then when we run out of power over there for whatever reason, like if we decide to make an RF tools dimension that requires tons and tons of power and more than we're generating, with all the power that we'll have stored up over here, we'll be able to keep that dimension running for a long time. Like for instance, if we make a dimension that's full of that has a bunch of Draconium or something, which actually would be pretty cool. It would be really expensive with RF, but this would definitely give us enough to keep that dimension running for quite a while before we run out of power, and then when we're done grabbing a bunch of Draconium or whatever resource we want to get out of that dimension, then we shut it off, and that thing will fill back up with power. That looks so cool. Over the horizon like that, over the hill. Alright, we got everything working. So here's what I did. I have, like I showed you before, I got this tesseract here in between an input and an output. Wait. Output, input. You can see where the particles are floating. It's so cool. And then in here I've got the tesseract under my big capacitor bank. And all the power generation is going into the tesseract, and the vibrant capacitor bank is pulling power from the tesseract, and it's sending it out to the rest of the house, or the rest of the base. So all the power is being sent over there into our look at that. I just love that thing. It is so cool. I think I've said this before, but Draconic Evolution, I just love this mod. It's just so fun. There's like everything about it is fun. Like building that thing was fun. Like putting the multiblock together and all that, and then of course all the crazy particles and everything. It's crazy fun. So all the power is going right into that thing, and then this power is pulling from it. I mean, this capacitor bank is pulling from it. And then the capacitor bank is powering the rest of our base. So all the power is going through the capacitor bank, which is cool because now when we do this, if you, you know, I just figured this out recently. If you shift right click with an empty hand, it'll toggle through these different modes to have the thing, the bar, the progress bar, or have that, or have nothing, which I didn't know before, and it kind of annoyed me that sometimes these progress bars would end up in weird places. This is, by the way, the vibrant capacitor bank with Ender IO. And then if you do two of them next to each other, you get the input and the output. So now we can see exactly how much throughput we have here. So we can see exactly how much power our base is using, and it's actually not using that much. We're only actually using about 350 RF per tick. Well, between 350 and 400 RF per tick usually. Oh, no, it just jumped a little bit. So we're not actually using all that much RF. We'll have to do something about that. We've got all this power gen going on here. And right now, we're at about 1 billion RF, 143 billion RF in this thing already. So that's pretty cool. We still got a long ways to go before we fill it up, though. A long ways to go. We're about, well, 2 terabytes would be about 2,000 billion RF. So we've got, I mean, 2,000, wait, what did I say? 2,000 billion RF. So 2,000 more of what we have now will fill that guy up. And it'll happen. It'll happen eventually. I mean, we're producing more power than we're using. And it's just a matter of time before it fills up. But I think one of the things I'd like to do next is to start playing around with some more power gen, so that we can fill this guy up more quickly, and start just kind of building some crazy RF sucking stuff that uses a lot of RF. Because I mean, hey, we got it. Let's use it, man. So I think next episode, we're going to do one of a couple things. I'm thinking about expanding my big reactor and getting turning it into an actively cooled reactor with, you know, the big turbine and stuff. Having a big turbine reactor, maybe over here. We'll probably fill in this little lake here. I mean, we've got lakes all over the place, so it's it'll be fine if we fill in this one. To generate some power. But another thing that I really, really want to play with, but it's going to take me some time to kind of wrap my head around it, is the... Where's my mouse? How come I don't have a mouse? The Draconic Evolution... oh, crap. I lost my page. The Draconic Evolution Reactor. I believe this is a brand new item. I don't even know if it was in the last version of FTP Infinity. The Draconic Reactor. There's a lot of information here. Brandon 3055, on his YouTube channel, I think I don't know if he's the main developer or the sole developer of Draconic Evolution, but he did a tutorial on how to set this thing up. But I mean, you'll see. I mean, we're not going to read all this right now, but you can kind of see as I'm scrolling that there is a lot. This is really, there's a lot of information here to get your head around, and it's very important to get your head around it because this thing, it's a reactor. It's like, and like a real live reactor in real life, if you set it up incorrectly, it'll blow up. And it does not, and when it blows up, it's not like TNT. It's not like a wither boss spawning. This thing, well, watch his video. Brandon 3055, Brandon 3055. Maybe I'll put a link in the description below. But it will cause major damage. I mean, it will just destroy, like, as far as I can see here. It'll just completely devastate this. I mean, my base would be completely gone if this thing blew up. But of course, I would not build it in this base. I would probably build it in another dimension. So, yeah, we'll see. I'll take some time to kind of research this a little bit and maybe play around with it in creative mode. and then maybe we'll do that here, because it generates a lot of RF, like hundreds of thousands of RF per tick. So it's definitely OP, but you pay for it. It comes at a cost. You know, like everything else in Draconic Evolution. There's a lot of OP stuff in this mod, but you really have to pay for it. I mean, getting this Draconic armor, I mean, we had to kill several Ender Dragons and do some rituals, and it was fun, man. The whole process was a blast, but yeah, it's comes at a price. So that concludes the Let's Play portion of this video. I would actually like to take a couple minutes just to kind of give you an update for those of you who might be interested in a kind of a channel update and let you know where this series is going and such. You might notice we've reached some endgame stuff here, but I want to let you know that I have no intention of abandoning this series anytime soon. I still have a lot of plans, a lot of stuff we haven't done yet. Like big reactors turbine, of course the Draconic Evolution Reactor that we talked about. I'm planning on doing a little kind of a backpacking trip. Well, I'll tell you a little bit more about that, but basically I want to do a little wilderness trek, kind of do some exploring and kind of leave some of our stuff behind just to make it a little bit challenging and just come up with some kind of a little challenge thing that we can do. You know, kind of like what you would do in real life. You know, in real life you collect a bunch of crap throughout your life and you get a bigger house and then you leave it all behind to go on a little wilderness vacation or something. So we're gonna kind of do something like that. And also I have upgraded to the FTP Infinity Evolved, as I talked about earlier, but I do not intend on going into hard mode. It really doesn't make sense for me to do that at this point in this series. I have played a little bit with a hard mode on my own, and you know, it was kind of fun, and it's well done, and I think it's a really cool concept, you know, stretching out the end game. But as far as like my gameplay style goes, you know, I don't play to an end game, and I like the freedom of Minecraft. I like the fact that there are no rules, and I don't really want to be told how to progress. So I'm gonna progress how I damn well please. So I probably won't be doing any. I probably won't be doing much with hard mode. Certainly not in this series. And then of course we're definitely going to be getting back into Thaumcraft some more. I want to get myself a staff and some crafting scepters. And then I want to continue to build my arsenal a little bit. And then what I'd like to do is I'd like to take my Thaumcraft arsenal and unleash it against the Gaia Guardian, and we'll do kind of a Thaumcraft versus Botania thing. Just as, you know, just kind of a fun little thing where we go after the Gaia Guardian with nothing but Thaumcraft stuff. I think that would be interesting. And I have another series kind of in the works. It's one that's going to take a little bit of preparation on my part. So it's going to be a little while before it's ready. But just to kind of give you a little preview and maybe here's some of your feedback about my idea, but I'm planning on doing a magical series, and it's going to be, at its heart, it's basically going to be a Let's Play series with a backstory. So it's kind of going to mix Let's Play with RPG and a little bit of animation just to kind of develop the backstory and make it a little bit more interesting to watch. So that's kind of some of the plans for my future here. So I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, of course, click the like button, and I thank you so much for your support of my channel. I'm having a blast sharing my game time with you and putting these videos together and reading your comments and all that stuff. And if you've been listening to me blab all this time, you're probably someone who's been supportive of my channel and interested in my content. So thank you very much for that. And I hope to see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.